The dawn before Fajr in the holy city of Mecca was unlike anything else. The stars still twinkled above the Al-Haram mosque as millions of believers prepared for the sacred rituals of Umrah. But amidst a sea of white robes and whispers of Allah, one man stood unusually still. His gaze was fixed on the Kaaba, not with reverence, but with something far more sinister. No one could know the evil he harbored in his heart. He was dressed in the garments of a pilgrim, but his purpose was far from pious. His hands trembled, not from fear of Allah, but from anticipation of blasphemy. He was not a Muslim, he was an impostor, a priest who had embraced Islam under false pretenses. His name was Mikhail, but the world knew him as Brother Mikhail, a supposed Christian convert whose tearful shahada had gone viral just months earlier. The deception and intentions. Father Mikhail spent nearly 2 years studying Islam, not out of curiosity or in search of truth, but to destroy it from within. He memorized verses, adopted mannerisms, and attended mosques. When he finally publicly declared his conversion, he was welcomed as a lost soul returning to the fold. Social media overflowed with congratulatory messages. Mosques invited him to share his journey. Some even wept, seeing him cry during prayer. But behind the cameras, behind the mask of piety, his heart beat with hatred. He had meticulously planned a mission to desecrate the Kaaba, a plan so vile that even his accomplices doubted its feasibility. His goal: to spit on the most revered object in Islam, the black stone, Hajar al-Aswad, sent from paradise. With donations from unsuspecting Muslims and media endorsements celebrating the first Umrah of a convert, Mikhail boarded a flight to Jeddah. His arrival in Mecca and entry into Masjid al-Haram were met with reverence. People smiled warmly. Some even embraced him. Brother Mikhail, they called him, gently guiding him through the crowd. He nodded, whispered prayers, and moved with calculated humility. The towering Kaaba loomed ahead, draped in its black kiswa, its golden embroidery gleaming under the morning sun. But Mikhail's eyes were not moist with love. They were wild with tension. Each step toward the Kaaba brought him closer to the point of no return. Around his neck, hidden under his clothes, hung a silver cross, a silent rebellion in the house of Allah. He joined the tawaf, circling the Kaaba like everyone else, whispering a false dhikr, drawing closer to the black stone. His breathing quickened. The moment had come. The crowd parted slightly for the new Muslim, expecting him to kiss the Hajar al-Aswad. He raised his hands like the others, but what followed shocked the entire assembly. In a sudden motion, he leaned forward and spat forcefully directly onto the black stone. Divine intervention and justice. Time stood still. Gasps rippled through the tawaf. A woman screamed. An elderly man collapsed. A child cried. The peaceful moment turned to disbelief. But before a single hand could seize him, a sudden blinding light burst from the black stone. It was neither sunlight nor artificial. Witnesses described it as a piercing beam, white, intense, holy, that struck the man's face directly. Mikhail screamed, clutching his eyes, and collapsed onto the marble floor, howling like a beast. "I can't see! I can't see!" Blood streamed from his eyes. He writhed on the ground as if possessed. The crowd, initially paralyzed, surged forward in rage and horror. Within seconds, Haram's security surrounded him. The cross around his neck was exposed. The truth came to light. He was dragged to a holding area. Senior officials and scholars were summoned. The man confessed everything. A hidden camera in his bag, recordings detailing his plan, hateful messages from his group. It all came to light. The Saudi authorities, in full accordance with Sharia, deemed the act open blasphemy and sacrilege in a sacred zone. Within hours, an emergency ruling was issued. He would be publicly punished to serve as a deterrent. Punishment and miracle. That evening, after Maghrib, he was brought back to the courtyard, blind and trembling. Pilgrims stood in solemn silence. Imams recited Quranic verses. Then, with swift and just finality, his head was severed, and his body was removed from the sacred grounds he had defiled. The blood was washed away, but the message remained. Moments after the execution, another story began to unfold. This time, a miracle. A man named Ibrahim had come from Sudan with his 10-year-old son Yusuf, who was born blind. For years Ibrahim prayed that his son could one day touch the black stone, believing in its heavenly origin. Due to the earlier incident, security had temporarily cleared the area around Hajar al-Aswad. Seeing an opportunity, Ibrahim pleaded with an officer. "Just one moment. Let my son touch it. It's all I ask." The guard nodded. Ibrahim guided Yusuf's small hand to the stone's edge. The boy touched it gently, whispering a dua his father had taught him. At that moment, as his palm pressed against the stone, a soft pulse of warmth ran through his fingers. Yusuf gasped, "Baba, I see light." Ibrahim froze. "Baba, I see the Kaaba. I see it." Nearby people turned. Tears began to flow. Ibrahim fell into sujood, sobbing. Doctors rushed over, stunned. Within hours, experts confirmed, Yusuf's sight was fully restored. No surgery, no treatment, just the touch of the stone that had, moments earlier, protected its sanctity with divine fire. Lessons and messages. The story spread worldwide. The priest's betrayal, the punishment, the miracle. Millions witnessed both wrath and mercy in a single day. Scholars addressed the Ummah, reminding them of the Hadith. The black stone descended from paradise, whiter than milk, but the sins of the sons of Adam made it black. They explained how it bears witness to those who kiss it with sincerity, and how stones can testify, protect, and punish by Allah's will. Many wept for the miracle. Others trembled at the punishment, but all agreed. No one mocks the sanctity of Allah's house and walks away unscathed. Final message. Let this be a lesson to the enemies of Islam. Final message. Let this be a lesson to the enemies of Islam. You may deceive people, but you cannot deceive Allah. You may hide your hatred, but the black stone sees the truth. You may come to defile, but you will leave humiliated. And for the believers, let this be a sign that miracles still live among us, that Allah watches, that His justice is swift, and that those who honor the sacred will be honored by the Most Merciful. The story of Father Mikhail is not just an isolated case of deception. It is a divine demonstration of truth, justice, and the living power of Allah's sanctity. In the holiest place on earth, where every step is worship and every breath is remembrance, a man dared to commit one of the gravest acts of blasphemy, to spit on what Allah sent from paradise, the black stone, kissed by the beloved Prophet Muhammad. But what he planned as a humiliation for Islam became his own shame and destruction. It was not just a punishment, it was a sign that Allah's house is protected not only by guards and cameras, but by the unseen hand of divine justice. Before any human could react, Allah took away what Mikhail used to mock the sacred, his eyes. Before the world could condemn him, Allah judged him first with blindness, pain, and public exposure. And when the story reached its most terrifying moment with the impostor's execution, Allah showed the other side of His infinite power, His mercy. You may enter the Kaaba with hidden intentions, but Allah knows what hearts conceal. You may plan to mock the sacred, but Allah protects what is His. You may intend harm, but Allah responds with both justice and miracles. O Allah, the most merciful, the all-seeing, the all-knowing, we turn to You with hearts full of humility and eyes full of tears. O Allah, guide us on the straight path, the path of those You have favored, not those who have incurred Your wrath or gone astray. O Allah, protect the sanctity of Your sacred house, guard the Kaaba and the black stone with Your divine power. Let us always honor Your signs with sincerity, and never allow arrogance or disbelief to enter our hearts. O Lord, whoever tries to insult Your religion, humiliate Your worshippers, or defile what is sacred, expose them, humiliate them, and show Your divine justice as You have done before. Do not let the enemies of Islam succeed in their evil plans. Crush their power and protect this ummah from any hidden conspiracy. O Allah, just as You punished the one who mocked the black stone, reward those who believe in its sanctity. Let us be among those who visit it with love, kiss it with sincerity, and feel its blessing. Make our love for the Kaaba pure and our intentions sincere.